The differences between the IGCSE curriculum of UK and the CBSE curriculum of India. The levels at which the students can study. How you can study mathematics and science. The difference between their teaching methodologies and their assessment criterion. Acceptability of the 10th board score when their child wants to study further. Hello everyone. Today I'd like to address a question which has been put very frequently to me, which is the differences between the IGCSE curriculum of UK and the CBSE curriculum of India. Well, there are quite a few differences and we'll talk about them in detail in this video. The first being is how they call the different levels at which a child studies in the CBSE curriculum and the UK curriculum. In the CBSE curriculum, as we are already aware, a child starts with, pre-nursery, nursery, moves on to lower KG, upper KG. After that, in the schooling level, you have your lower primary and your upper primary, followed by secondary. But it's slightly different in the UK curriculum. To make it simpler for you, the first rule which we can just use is that you add 1 to whichever class you're talking about in the Indian curriculum. At age 5, typically the UK curriculum starts with year 1, which is the equivalent of the upper KG in the Indian curriculum. They move on to year 2, which is the class 1 of Indian curriculum. After that, you move on to the primary section, which is in Indian context, it would have been class, you add 1, so it becomes years 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And as a chunk, they are called the KS2 block. After this, you have the secondary section in the Indian curriculum, which would have been the class 6, 7, 8, 9, and followed by the board exams at class 10. In the UK curriculum, it is called the lower secondary KS3 block, and that would be a year 7, 8, 9. But here comes the major difference. The year 9 is the equivalent of the class 8 of the CBSE curriculum, but the UK curriculum does not have a class 9 equivalent. You straight away choose your subjects for your 10th boards, which is called the IGCSE boards there, and you study it over a span of 2 years. So imagine this whole stress with the children face over here, which they need to study for their 10th board exams in 1 year. Actually, a child in the UK curriculum gets to spread it out over 2 years and study it in depth and be well prepared for it. That is how it works till the 10th board exams. After that also, there is a slight difference. In the CBSE curriculum, children would typically give their 11th exams, and followed by that, the 12th standard, they give their second set of board exams. In the UK curriculum, it is called the A levels. And at the 11th standard level, they would give something called as the AS level exam. And at the 12th level, they would give their board exam again, which is the A levels. They have a choice, however, where they may not give the AS exam and they can straight away enter the 2-year A-level program and give the exams together at the board level. So this is the main difference between the two curriculums with regards to the levels at which the students can study. Now, let's talk more in detail about the 10th board exams between both the curriculums. In the CBSE curriculum, as we know, the child naturally progresses from class 1 to 9. And after that, over 1 year, he prepares for the 10th board exams. He needs to take up all the subjects, they are all compulsory, which is typically English, the second language, mathematics, all the 3 sciences, which is physics, chemistry, biology, all the 3 social sciences, which is geography, history, civics, economics, and computers. And to fare well in the future, he needs to make sure that he gets a grade average across all the subjects. Now that's the main difference. In UK curriculum, that is not the case. Firstly, no subjects are compulsory. Yes, the core subjects of English, mathematics and science are required, but he has a choice as to which other subjects he wants to take up based on his interest, his capability and what he wants to do in the future. So he can actually drop certain subjects which he doesn't wish to pursue later. Another difference is in how you can study mathematics and science. The 3 sciences, which are physics, chemistry and biology, you can take them up separately as 3 separate subjects, or there is an option called coordinated sciences. This is nothing but 2/3 of the syllabus of each of these sciences spread across 2 papers. So they count as 2 IGCSE papers. And the third option is something called as combined science. For students who do not wish to pursue science later in any form and just wish to do it as an eligibility criterion till their 10th board exams, they take up this option. It is actually 1/3 syllabus of all the three sciences combined in one IGCSE paper called as the combined science paper. Same way, for mathematics, they again have two options. The children who do not wish to pursue mathematics at a later level for their career can take up the core mathematics paper. However, the children who do wish to use mathematics at a later level need to take up the advanced mathematics paper. Such variations in the subject choice gives a lot of options to the child in the IGCSE curriculum, which is not offered in the CBSE curriculum for the 10th board exams. Now, coming to the most important distinction between the two curriculums, which is the difference between their teaching methodologies and their assessment criterion. In the CBSE curriculum, all the subjects are compulsory till the 10th board exams. Typically, they lay more stress on mathematics and science. The teaching methodology is more theoretical in nature. In the assessment criterion, you typically have unit exams, half-yearly, and the full final year exam, which happens at the end of the year with the full syllabus. Typically in these, you have your give reasons, one-word answer, and they have one right answer. There is not much scope for changing the answer from what it was taught in class. In the UK curriculum, first of all, the importance is spread across all subjects. It is not laying more importance on maths and science. Second is the teaching methodology. It is more practical in nature. And they're testing the application of the concepts which have been learned and not just the concept knowledge by the rote method which is used in CBSE curriculum. Let's use some examples. In English, for example, in the CBSE curriculum, you typically have a prose textbook and a poetry textbook followed by questions at the back of the chapter. In the UK curriculum, actually, there is no set textbook like that. What they are doing is actually making us use the grammar which was taught to us or the concepts of English language which were taught to us and putting them to use. How? So there could be one assignment which is telling you to, use your reading skills and compare the excerpts from two authors on the same topic. Compare the writing styles. Highlight the words which are pointing out to you what the author wants to say. What is hidden behind the words which have been used. In a poetry, for example, you could be asked to analyze and to bring about what are the metaphors which have been used and what they actually mean. Who is the author talking to? What is the author trying to say? So these things are questioning the children's mind and telling them to find out, what is actually being told to them and not just a very set form of question and answer. In mathematics, of course, there is a question paper similar to the one used in CBSE curriculum. However, in the way it is being taught, rather than just questions and answers on the blackboard and in the textbook, there are also quizzes. There are lots of fun interactive elements which are being used to make sure that the child has understood the base concepts of mathematics. In geography, say there's a chapter which is telling you about the different biomes which exist in the world. Instead of having to go and write down all the 6 points or characteristics of those biomes, in the UK curriculum, the assessment criterion used is something called as assignments. What do? They can ask you to create a PowerPoint explaining as to which would be your biome of choice and give the reasons behind that choice. Now, in order to do that, actually, the child is going to have to study the characteristics of all the biomes and then pick the one which he likes, give reasons for the same, research from books which are out of curriculum, read on the internet, and present it in the form of a presentation. So effectively, the child has studied about all the biomes, but did not realize that that's what he is doing because he did not mug it up and go and write them all down in the answer paper. In English, something else which they also do is that they want to test your spoken skills. So one assignment could be where you need to record a podcast where you've been asked to give an investor's pitch regarding a business proposal which you have made. What they are testing there is obviously, are you grammatically correct? Are you using the correct pitch and tone? Are you using a persuasive tone when you're trying to convince somebody else? Are you modulating the pitch based on what you're trying to say? When you're excited, are you becoming louder or are you becoming faster? So these are the things which they're putting to test. In the written skills also, when you're being asked to write, say, an essay, based on the theme of adventure, then there is no one right way of putting it. As long as you're able to give reasoning for what you're trying to say, the marks are given. So as I mentioned, this is the main point of distinction between how the studies are happening between the two curriculums. An important factor for the parents to consider when they're choosing the right curriculum for their child is the acceptability of the 10th board score when their child wants to study further. With the CBSE 10th board score, the child can typically apply in colleges in India, and it is more useful for those students who are planning to apply for entrance exams like the IIT entrance or the medical exams. With the UK curriculum, the IGCSE board score is acceptable in colleges in India as well as abroad, and not just in UK. It is even accepted in countries like USA, Singapore, Australia, and many other countries. A major point of difference lies here, which is the international acceptability. The CBSE 10th board score is not as acceptable internationally, and there is a reason for that. In the 10th curriculum, the CBSE board is not covering the Shakespeare curriculum, which is being covered in the ICSE curriculum as well as the UK curriculum. Thus, if a student of CBSE wants to study internationally further and wants to study, say, for the A levels, then certain schools may not accept his CBSE 10th board score and may ask him to retake the IGCSE boards, hence leading to the loss of one academic year. This could be a disadvantage of the CBSE curriculum. These were the major differences between the two curriculums, and I hope you found it useful so that you can take the right decision for the right curriculum for your child. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please press the bell icon. To see many more such useful videos regarding the education of your child, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you.